I've been receiving a lot of questions lately about which credit card is right for whom, and I thought the best way to do this is to categorize credit cards, trifectas, by personas. I came up with 3 personas. I thought I would do everything in one episode, so keep in mind you're gonna have 3 episodes. They're gonna be a series coming up, but the first persona is the average Joe. Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time to the channel, we're talking about credit cards, points, finances, and travel. If this is something that interests you, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Guys, it's been a while now that I have questions about what kind of credit cards I'm using, but what I'm using is not the right credit card for all of you. Many of you face different circumstances, have different income and different needs, different wants, so it's impossible for me to give one right answer for everyone. But I thought the best way to do this is to create some personas and match trifectas based on that persona. I came up with 3 personas. The first is the average Joe. This is gonna be the episode of today. The second persona will be the city boy, and the third persona will be the cosmopolitan. But before we get into the presentation, I think it's a good idea to let you know what I think as an average Joe. When I hear average Joe, it's somebody that travels once a year, maybe internationally, maximum twice. Somebody that has a family or wants to have a family, somebody that has a normal 9-to-5 job, somebody that commutes to work every day. If you have a spouse, your spouse is a stay-home mom or has a part-time job, and in general you're looking for value. So with that in mind, let's jump to the presentation and come back to wrap it up. So looking for value, we're gonna look at credit cards with 0 annual fee. I think this is crucial because the average Joe doesn't want to spend any money on annual fees. On top of that, the kind of expenses they're doing are average type of expenses: gas, groceries, restaurants, and occasional travel. Now you may see here that the credit cards don't work together perfectly, and this is because travel is not of an importance here. What is important is to get the best value for everyday expenses, and these offer the best. We have one credit card from Citi, the Custom Cash, the Discover It, and the Chase Freedom Flex. The first card that came to my mind when I was looking about doing this video was the Custom Cash. Honestly, this is the joker. The 5x goes to the biggest spending category of every month, and because the other two have 5x on rotating categories every 3 months, they leave a gap. Every month you're gonna have a gap that you need to cover with the Citi Custom Cash, and this is incredible. So you might have groceries with your Freedom Flex, you might have gas with Discover It, but then you have restaurants with Custom Cash. You have that covered. Now for the first year, the sign-up bonus is 20,000 points after spending $750 in 3 months. The multipliers is a 5x in the highest spending category. And there's just 1x on everything else. The return on spend is at 31%. The Discover It doesn't have any sign-up bonus. Well, it does, technically. So you get 5x on everything, and then they match another 5x. They double whatever you're getting on the first year without any limit. So whatever points you spend in the first year, you earn in the first year, they're gonna double, they're gonna match it. So this is incredible. So at least you can get 10% with this credit card. The multipliers are 5x on rotating categories. We talked about this before, but crucially, PayPal is added here, and when you have PayPal, you can use that for everything. There's no many stores that I'm aware of, online stores, that don't accept PayPal nowadays. The last credit card is the Freedom Flex, and the Freedom Flex is the reason why I decided against putting all the personas in this video, because you will see in the end. The sign-up bonus is 20,000 points after spending 500 in 3 months, which is the lowest of all these. The multipliers of these credit cards are just incredible. We're looking at 5x on rotating categories, 5x on travel through the Chase portal, 3x on restaurants and drugstores, 1x on everything else, and for the first year, it's a 5x on gas. The return on spend is 45%, but as we know, what happens in the first year is not that important. What's important is what happens in the second and every year after. As always, we apply our imaginary budget of $12,000 equally spread between travel, restaurants, gas, and groceries. And as we see here, we have flat 5% on everything. You will see that the maximum value is the same for all, because at different points and times you can get this 5x or take out of that 5x. So you're gonna get the 5% average if you spread it equally. All these credit cards now, keep in mind, they're working together. So we're not gonna do one credit card against each other. We're looking at them with the perspective of a trifecta. Looking at them next to each other, we're looking for the first year, the average return on spend is 27%, and the 5% in the second year and every year after. Now, as I mentioned, the reason why I didn't put all these personas in one video is the Freedom Flex. The Freedom Flex, we presented this credit card before in this channel, but I guess we didn't pay enough attention to how incredible of credit card this is, and let's see why. So the Freedom Flex is the star of this trifecta. We said that we have 45% return on spend to hit the sign-up bonus on the first year, and then 5% every year after. But this doesn't even say the whole story. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. As we know, on the second year and every year after, we apply our imaginary budget, and typically when we have a trifecta, we spread the spending on the best categories in every credit card. But as I was looking and I was going through the numbers, I realized that when you have a Citi Custom Cash that has 5x up to $500 every month to the higher spending category, that's incredible. But if that was your only credit card, that 5x would be nothing. It would drop to 1.5, maximum 1.8%, because it has 1x on everything else. Then we're going to the Discovery It, and then Discovery It is a 5x every 3 months, so it's the same exact case like the Custom Cash, plus you don't know what you're gonna spend most that month. Yes, you can use it for gas because gas is what offers that month, but maybe that month you're not traveling that much, you don't drive that much. Or it has groceries that month, and I don't know, your kitchen cabinets are full, your pantry is full, so you don't need it. So best case scenario, if you use this for every expense, would be about 1%, 1.5%, maximum 1.8%, because again, 5x was gonna go to only one category, and then it's 1x on everything else. So when it comes to the Freedom Flex, potentially we could put all our travel into this credit card, because there's no limit on how much we can put. At least I couldn't find. If you can find any limit on these categories, let me know, but I couldn't find any limit. The only limit that there is $1,500 every 3 months on that rotating categories. But for all the other ones, all the other multipliers, there's no limit. I couldn't find any. So all the travel could go through the Chase portal, and you could get that 5x. All $3,000 of our imaginary budget could go there. The restaurants, we can have 3x always. The minimum you can expect in restaurants is 3x. And then on gas and groceries, which is on the rotating categories part, I have 2.5, because yes, you're gonna get 5x when the right time comes, but if this was your only credit card, you would use it always. So you would get about 2.5%. If you average all this, we're looking at 3.25% return on spend on a non-annual fee credit card. And this is incredible. This is credit cards typically that have $95 annual fee, and their travel credit cards might give you something like this. Assuming that you pair this with a Chase Sapphire Preferred or an Ink Preferred or a Reserve, you would get at least 5% on this one, using it as your only credit card. So yeah, this for travel would be at least 5%. And that concludes the first episode of The Average Joe. Let me know what you guys think. Next time is gonna be the Citi Boy, and we're gonna see a different set of credit cards there. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, ciao.